As before, we're going to look to see what is the biggest power in the numerator, because we're going to infinity. So this stuff that's going to matter, it's not going to matter out at infinity. So we're looking at x squared over 2x squared the x squareds will cancel out, and so the limit from this first term will just be 1/2. But we also have plus 2, and so we're going to add that on, and our answer would be 5/2. So it demonstrates that we're going to do things the way we've always done them, but we can add things and subtract things on. Now let's look at this next one. Again, this is the largest term, so I can discount this. So we're really looking at x squared cosine of x over 4 x squared. Well, as before, our x squared will cancel out. And so we're really saying, hey, what does cosine of x all over 4 look like? What's that going to be out at infinity? Well, cosine looks like this. Because it's divided by 4, the magnitude is just up 1/4 instead of up 1, and this would be -1/4. And since this never seems to zero in on anything, but it keeps bouncing back and forth, this limit will be does not exist, because it never seems to approach a single number as I go to the right forever. And now let's look at one more. In this case, our biggest power in the numerator is x cosine of x, and the denominator is x squared, so we're going to have x cosine of x all over x squared. X will go into x squared, leaving still an x in the denominator, so we can think of this as now just cosine of x all over x. Well, just like the last example, if we think about what does cosine do, it bounces around. The maximum is 1, the minimum is -1, but I'm also always dividing by this really big number. So as we think about 1 divided by huge, that's 0. -1 divided by huge, that's also 0. And so the limit from this first term is 0. But we have to add 2 more on top of it. And so this limit would be 0 plus 2, or 2, for all of these. I encourage you to graph them on Desmos to just make sure that you're right, that this is right, it feels right to you. But tomorrow or Monday, we'll be looking for the work that doesn't have Desmos or a calculator. You'll need to explain yourself with probably some words, since I'm doing most of my explaining with talking.